All right. Well, I am super, super, super excited to talk about this tonight because I feel like a lot of people have been coming to me and a few other leaders. Like, also, I'm like super cold. That's why I'm like literally bundled up here. It's so cold in our guest room. But a lot of people have been coming to me or other people on our team and saying, like, I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, what else can I do? All these different things. And so I kind of wanted to like, it's in a sense like back to the basics, but it's talking about being consistent, but also having a positive mindset about things. And so I know we do have some newer people on here. And so I just want to like super, super quick go over what our six list is or our like task list, or as they sometimes call it too, a KPI list. And what that means is key performance indicators. And so obviously, this is going to indicate your performance, aka how well you do if you consistently do these things. And so the first thing that we do, or at least I do for the beginning of the day after I've done like my self-development, is I add to my network. And so what that means is you're going to grow your network, obviously, which means you're going to add new people. And so there's a bunch of different ways that you can do this. And I'll just give you like a super quick rundown of how I do it. But if you found a different way that's successful for you, I want you to put it in the chat. And that way I know that there's like, that way I can give you some different ideas, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So like the thing that works best for me on adding is I either add from the ads that are on my news feed, because I know like if I'm looking at that baby thing, someone else is looking at that baby thing. And so I can add from there. I really enjoy The Bachelor, Bachelorette. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to mute everybody here. I really enjoy The Bachelor and Bachelorette here. Emily, can you try muting? Because I can't get it to mute. But I really enjoy The Bachelor and Bachelorette. So like if there's a Bachelor and Bachelorette preview or Bachelor in Paradise preview or anything like that, I'll add from one of those ads, things like that. And then sometimes I'll add from groups. It kind of just depends. But that seemed to like hit a thing for me and I didn't do it anymore because it wasn't working. I know a lot of people add from their suggested friends. That seems to work really well for them. I did that for about a month consistently and it did not work for me. And so that's weird. Make sure you're muted, guys. It looks like everyone is, but I feel like I'm still hearing things. But if you guys found a success anywhere else from adding to your network, definitely put it in here. But the next thing that we do on our six list is we interact. And what that means to me is not scrolling. And I obviously don't mean to offend anybody with this. If this is how you do it, like obviously it's your business and it's your choice. But I think when you're just scrolling, you're not intentionally interacting. Like, okay, yeah, you're interacting. I could go interact, but guess what I'm going to see? A lot of the people I already interact with. And I think interacting is supposed to be building new relationships. And so with that, sorry, I feel like I got like hair in my mouth or something. With that, there's a few different ways that I do it. So if I'm going to interact with someone's feed, what I do is I actually go to my Facebook and or Instagram, doesn't matter. But when I go to it, I sort my Facebook friends or my Instagram following from newest to oldest so I can see the people I just recently added. And I go interact with one or two posts on their profile. And what that also does is tell me if I do have something in common with them. And if I don't, or I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know how I got this person on my profile, check the messages, there's no host post, I'm going to delete them because I just don't need people that I don't need on my profile. But if I'm going to interact with stories, what I do is when I log in, when you log in, you'll see the first few stories are the people you watch all the time. So all of these people I watch consistently. And so I need to scroll all the way over, and that's going to help me get to people I don't interact with very often. And just pause for just a second. Morgan's Opportunity Live is alive. And so I want you guys to go share it on your profile real quick if you haven't, because I did not get a chance to share that yet because I didn't get a notification. So give me just a second how to do that. Oopsie, I can't even type now. Oh my gosh, my grammar is horrible. Okay, 30 seconds, not even. There we go. Okay, perfect. I shared it and then I'll do the rest later. Okay, so sorry, forgot that. Anyways, but so that's what I think interacting is. I think interacting is building a relationship. And the reason I think this is so important is because I had for sure one other girl, but a few others, but for sure one that like followed me and I like had seen her stuff, but she never interacted with me, like ever. And I don't even know if I could tell you a time that she liked a post or anything. I just knew she followed me. And so when I had the choice to join between her and Morgan, I ultimately went with Morgan because she interacted with me and she made that relationship with me. And so for me, I was teaching at the time. And so anytime I made a post about my students or anything, she was like, oh my gosh, like that looks like looks like your students did really good. Like they're so lucky to have you. I'm sure you're a great teacher. Like, and she just made it so like, sorry, I'm really struggling. I now feel like there's a bunch in my eye. But she just made it so personal. And I felt like she knew what was going on in my life, even though she like didn't know me. And I didn't put half of the stuff that I put like on my social media in the beginning that I do now. So that was really important to me. And I'm gonna talk about this a little bit later, but the next thing is posting. And so um, you can do this a few different ways, but what I like to do, and Emily, do you by chance have that posting schedule that Rachel puts in the content planning Zoom? Emily's going to share like a way that Rachel shares it, and you don't have to do it this way and you don't have to do it the way that I do it. But what I like to do is every single day I post a business post, which is could be an inspiration quote, or it could be sharing my story, or could be sharing an opportunity, something talking about the business or a quote. And then I post a life post. And what that could include was obviously I posted about taking Granger to the fair. I talked about just Granger in general. I talked about being a boy mom, things that I feel like define me. That's to me a life post. I post those things and then I post on my feed. Now, my feed today is bad because I came off my Sabbath today at 5 p.m. Central time. And so I didn't have anything on my story until then. But even in that little bit of time, excuse me, I talked about coming off my Sabbath and I always feel really refreshed. That's what I did here. Tip, if you don't know, most people watch their stories on mute. So I type out what I talk about, not word for word, but roughly what I'm talking about every single time on my story if I'm talking. So I talked to my story, I told him how we went to Granger, took Granger to the fair, everything. Posted that I was on the balcony with him, posted about the people, I would say it's different military people, but the military people who have passed away. And then I posted that there was an air balloon and it was a really cool view outside of our window. And that was just in the last like 3 hours. Okay. So obviously my story is much more full than that, but it's not a science. It's not like you have to add to your story every single day. Like I know Summer went to the zoo today, and so hers was pretty spread out, but it was still cool because she got to show that she was going to the zoo. And so I thought that was really cool. But Emily put it in the chat so you guys can check it out. This is how some other people do it. And if you don't want to do like a complete schedule like that, I guess it's fine. But to me, it helps like kind of plan out the pictures I have, kind of helps me plan out my posts, kind of just keeps me oh my gosh, keeps me held accountable. Sorry, I cannot talk tonight. So that's what I like to do. But obviously, like I said, mine is opportunity, life, and then interactive every single day. And unless like I had one that was what would your kids be called if they were called by their middle names? That got like hundreds of comments. I didn't post an interactive for a few days after that because I was still getting interaction on that one. So I mean, you really just got to judge your profile. But if you look at my Facebook profile, right, like you can go to my Instagram too, but Facebook's a little bit easier so I can show you. Let me show you here. Okay, so if you go to my profile, we're gonna go down. So I posted, this is my pinned one of Granger, but it was just really cute. Got a decent amount of interaction. Obviously I shared Morgan's live, so that's an opportunity. Here's an interactive funny. Here's just a life post. Here's my birthday stuff. And then life post, interactive, business, birthday stuff, sorry. Business, but birthday ones took up a lot, obviously. Personal, like you can see that it's not all business and they can still see what I'm about by going to my profile. And that's what I want you guys to remember. And then the next thing that we do is messaging. And so messaging for host post. Emily, if you could post your scripts in there because your scripts have been killing it, can you do that for me? This is just messaging, asking people if they want an opportunity to win $500 cash. And I know if someone would have offered me that when I first started, dang, I would have done it. And so I have a different message than Emily, which is totally fine because whatever message is working for you, like don't change it. If your message is working for you, use it. But mine was not working sorry. The one that I was using initially was not working, and so I changed it. But now this one is, and it's not that this one's not good, but the one that I'm using is really good for me, and so I'm going to keep using it. But mine says, hey, I'm not sure if you watch what I do or not, but I know life can be hard, and I know what it would have meant to me if someone would have offered me a chance to win $500 cash. So I just had to reach out. All you have to do is put a post on your wall/story for me. I'll send it to you. So all you have to do is post it, and I'll take care of everyone who comments. You'd be supporting my small business and family too. Would you be up for it? That's what mine says. Okay. Now, obviously, I can't put it in there because I don't have it on text replacement here, but I can text it to Emily and then she could probably put it in there. But you really got to like make sure that when you're messaging, you're doing it consistently, but you're also being you. I think your followers and the people on your social media are going to be able to tell if it's not you, if it's not like a message that you'd send or anything like that. And I joke about this all the time, but there's no people on here, so I feel like I can say it again. But like, there's a lot of people in this business, and just in life. Now this is like, hey boo boo or hey sis. You're never going to hear me say that in my entire life, besides like on a Zoom when I'm talking about this, because it's not me. And so I'm not going to send a message that says hey sis, because it's just not me. And that's okay. I'm not judging anyone who does. It's just not something, it's not how I talk. And so I'm not going to post that on social media. I'm not going to message for that. Like, I'm not going to do any of that. So the last message that Emily just posted, that's my host post message that I personally send that works really well for me. So I'm going to get into the good stuff. I promise. I'm just doing the basics here because I know we had a lot of new people. The next thing is follow-ups. Okay. So most of you more than likely did not join like right off of the bat, like on the spot. That's what I'm looking for. Gosh, I'm really struggling with words today. I'm so sorry, guys. So I want you to put in how long you watched your enroller before you joined, because I watched for an entire year before I joined Morgan. Holy actual crap. I still cannot believe that. And I like think about the people who literally have watched me for so long and they're still watching or could be still watching, or they finally join, you know, like I really want you guys to put them there because I think it's just like really telling, but the fortune is in the follow-up. And so what I like to do is a 2-day, 2-week and 2-month follow-up. And then usually depending on the conversation, I'll follow up every Friday. And so, cause most people get paid on Fridays. So I'll just do a quick follow-up and, hey, I'm putting a few orders in. Did you want to get yours in too? You know, kind of depending on the conversation. But that is crucial to stay consistent with it, because maybe, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Maybe they're a mom and they were going to answer your message because they opened it and then their baby went and got into something that they weren't supposed to be in. And then they forgot to respond to it. And they're like, oh crap. And then you actually reminded them and they're like, oh yeah, I actually do want to get my order and thanks so much. They're really thankful for it. You know, maybe you're not a mom, but your dog just got into something or peed on the ground. Well, guess what? You need to go take care of that. You're not going to respond to someone's message because you're worried taking about like, oh, words. You need to take care of that before you worry about what you're going to respond to. You know what I mean? And then you could forget because people forget and it happens. And then obviously I talked about self-defense. Sorry guys. I feel like my brain is going like way faster than my like mouth or vice versa, or maybe it's my mouth going faster than my brain. I don't know what it is, but either way, bear with me. I promise what I'm trying to say is so good. It's just I'm like, I even like freaking wrote down all these notes and made them more organized, and I still am like jumbling on my words. So I'm so sorry. Emily, I actually didn't know that. That's kind of cool. So what I was talking about though is self-development is so important. And like I really thought people that did self-development were crazy. I was like, those people that read those books are really kind of just honestly stupid. Like I did not think it was cool at all till I read a development book that actually touched on what I want to develop. And I'm not even talking like a money mindset, like not even just that. I'm talking personally, like I have no idea who my dad is, like, and that's a whole different story for a whole nother time. But like, there's so much that I wanted to like figure out why I am the way I am. Self-development has helped me do that. And it just helps me start my day better. So like, I do not answer my phone right away when I wake up, and I do not answer my phone right off of a Sabbath. Like I take a minute and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do first? That's going to like keep me in a sense in the best mood. Because I feel like I could got a text today, for example, about a distributor that was supposed to sign up last night technically, but it was my Sabbath. So I didn't obviously get it. And so I checked on her today and she said that she's going to sign up as a customer instead because she just doesn't know if she wants to do it without having tried the products. If I wouldn't have done my self-development today, and obviously it was my Sabbath, but even if let's say I got that message in the morning, that might have ticked me off because guess what? I didn't try the products when I joined. Okay. But because I had done my self-development, I was like, oh, okay, well, do you mind if I like why I asked that? And can I clarify a little bit? And she told me a little bit. And she's like, yeah, like I just really want to try this. You know, what are your favorite products? And so she's really going to become a customer now. And that's okay. I'll take her being a customer. Some people are genuinely not comfortable with joining without trying the products. I can tell them from success that it's fine. I saw the before and afters. I believe it. Obviously, we would not be still here and we would not be called It Works if our products did not work. But like, I just want you guys to think about that. Self-development helped me have a better day and not respond negatively when I could have responded negatively if I wouldn't have done something like that. So that's basically what I do every single day. And I know that sounds like a lot because obviously it took me like almost 15 minutes to talk about, but if I'm not interrupted by Granger, because obviously I have an almost 2-year-old son, if I'm not interrupted by him, I can get my work done in about an hour a day. So sometimes it doesn't always look like that. And obviously everyone's schedule is different, but what I encourage you guys to do, and I had my team do this, is I shared the schedule that I do for the business in my team chat. And I was like, I encourage you guys to make a schedule that you think is going to work for you on doing the different tasks. You know, some people like to do 10-minute slots. Some people like to work in the morning. Some people like to work in the night. You know, it kind of just depends. But what I want to make sure you guys think about is planning ahead. And so like for the weekends that I knew I was going to be going to the carnival or like things that I had going on, I planned ahead to make sure that I was going to be able to still get my work done, because I know what consistency obviously does in this business, but I want you to give yourself grace. Maybe you got into a fight with your spouse. I can tell you hands down, when Daniel and I get into a fight, I do not want to work this business. I do not want to add to my story. I don't want to do anything but resolve what we're doing. And we really don't fight that much, but when we do, it's like a fairly emotional, like intense thing. But like I'm not in the right headspace to come work, so I'm not going to go do that after I get into a fight. And so like in those moments, I will give myself grace, but I'm not just going to take a day off. Okay. And so, what I like to do, and someone asked me this, a few months ago, was they're like, well, what do you do when you're in a funk? I was like, what do you do when you're having a bad day? My best advice is to go do something you enjoy or love doing and then come back. So maybe you want to watch Bachelor in Paradise that you wanted to catch up on. Maybe you want to go for a walk because that's really peaceful to you. Maybe you want to go play with your son or daughter or whatever uninterrupted for 30 minutes just to boost your mood a little bit. Maybe you go do that. Try coming back and seeing how you feel. If you feel like, okay, yeah, I feel like I'm okay. I'm excited to go, add to my network, or I'm excited to meet some new people, or however you want to look at it. But let's say that you're not okay and you come back to it. Okay, take some more time. Try taking maybe an hour or two then. And obviously your schedule is different. Maybe you work, maybe you don't. But try taking a little bit more time and coming back to it. And maybe you even have to wait till the nighttime till you're a little bit better and you're a little calmer. Because if you're not in the right mindset when you're doing this, you're not going to get the results that you want, because you're not probably going to add or like in general do the tasks that you would, how you would if you were in a good mindset, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So there we go. Okay, I knew what I was going to talk about. I missed one, so I had to do an arrow. What I also want to talk about though is working on vacation. So Emily just earned her spot to the retreat. I'm so excited. So I'm about to earn my spot to the retreat, but I want to sorry, there's something in my mouth right now. I don't know if it's hair or what. But anyways, I'm about to earn my spot at the retreat. Okay. And so what I want to talk to you about that is the retreat is from September 21st through September 24th, I think. And then conference is September 24th to 26th. Okay. So technically 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, that's 6 days. Okay. I cannot go on that trip and just not work. Okay. And so I'm still planning to get up and work every single day that I'm on vacation. Will I maybe sleep in because I technically don't have Granger and I don't have to worry about being interrupted? Maybe, but it just kind of depends. It depends on what works for you. Some people work like on car trips. Some people work different, but I'm probably still going to get up in the morning and work because that's my system and it's what works for me. And then that way I can really build the relationships there. I can really be present, and that's just how I choose to work. But I don't even have to in a sense, talk about just retreat, because that is a work thing. But let's say, for instance, because this is a real thing, I'm a photographer as well. If you didn't know that, I'm going to Nashville to do a wedding for my friend that I'm a photographer for. And so her wedding is on a Saturday. So we're flying out Friday night, and her wedding's on a Saturday. And then we're actually staying Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday to just make it in a sense of family vacation. Okay. And so I might actually hit this in 30 minutes, which would be really awesome, especially for how much of a hot mess I am right now. And especially for how much I love to talk. So you guys should be really proud if I get this in 30 minutes. But anyways, so on Friday, more than likely, I'll still wake up at my time that I do, and I'll get my stuff done in the morning because that's what works for me. And that's what I feel good doing. But let's say I don't. Let's say Granger sleeps absolutely horrible on Thursday night. I'm still going to get my stuff done. Maybe it's going to be a different schedule, obviously, but I'm probably going to work on the flight on Friday night. Okay. I don't know if I'm taking my Sabbath for the wedding or if I'm going to take it the next day. I'm really not sure yet. But let's say I don't take my Sabbath on the day of the wedding. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to get my work done before that wedding. So that way I can be so present throughout, especially since I'm obviously going to be working. But let's go into the vacation days of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday that are not affected by the wedding, I should say. Okay. On Monday, Tuesday, oh my gosh, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I have two or three options to me. But one, this is my option that I really like. I'm going to get up in the morning, probably at my normal time, even though I probably want to sleep in. And I'm going to get up and I'm going to get my crap done before I go do anything for that day. Because that way, when we are going to those places, when we are going to the zoos or the aquariums or wherever we're going, I can be so present, but I can still show my team. I can show you guys, I can show myself that I can still do this business. Okay. And I can still respond to messages in the car or when I go to the bathroom or things like that. But either way, I'm going to get my stuff done because I know that if I'm not posting and if I'm not like posting on my feed and my story, it doesn't seem like my business is open, because that's how people know if your business is open, is if you're posting. And so, like I said, you could get up in the morning like me and you could work, or you could work in the car ride. Maybe you make your coffee and your story and you're like, okay, we're gonna have about an hour drive here. I'm gonna work in between there. Okay. And that's a conversation that you have to have with, maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your boyfriend, well, whoever you're on vacation with. Have a conversation with them about that and be like, hey, I really want to sleep in. So I'm actually gonna work on an hour drive here. And that way I don't have to worry about it. Okay, we just did that. I don't even know what weekend it was. One weekend we went back to Mitchell. I actually didn't get up when I wanted to. So I worked literally on the way to Mitchell and on the way back. And that was the only times that I worked for the entire day, unless I was going to the bathroom. And I was so present with my family, but I still was able to get my task list done. And I still got 7 out of 10 Hostibos up that day. That's pretty dang good for being with family all day. Okay. And I was still able to talk to people. I was still able to do what we do because I was willing to make this sacrifice. And I talked to Dan about it and he knows. Okay. And so it's a communication thing. It's not just, oh, I'm going to be on my phone and I'm not going to talk to him. It's not that. That's not right. That's not what you should be doing, because you joined this business for freedom. Don't sacrifice the people that you're doing it for just to get your stuff done. Don't do that. But if you don't do your stuff, you're not going to get anywhere. And that's just me being really obviously blunt with you and just really honest. Okay. So, like I said, you can get up in the morning, you can work in the car, or maybe you're a night person. I can't make it to like 10 or 10:30 anymore. I feel like so old when I say that, but I can't. I am so lame. I am a morning person, hardcore. And so for me, not staying up in the nighttime would not work. But maybe you get back to the hotel. Maybe you have kids, maybe you don't. You get back to the hotel at like 10, 11 o'clock. You want to stay up until midnight working. Do it. That's totally fine. If you're sleeping the next day, it's not going to matter, And so I just want you to remember, there's like literally so many different ways that you can work this business, even on vacation. But I want to like think about this vacation, be like, Airworks is paying for this vacation, so I need to still be working. I can't just take it off, And so I just wanted to like hit on that, because it does go with posting and scheduling and kind of planning ahead. But now I kind of wanted to get into a little bit of one more thing of posting before I get into that. Actually, sorry, I'm gonna be really close to 8:30. So I talked about posting being our open sign. I want to share a quote that someone shared with me the other day that was really, really good. They said, obviously the posting is your open sign. But they said, if you're not posting, you won't get responses. If you're not following up, you won't seal the deal. If you're running out of people to message or don't have anybody to message, you're not growing your network enough. Okay. And so something I want to add on to that, though, with that, is that I want you to do something consistently for at least 7 days before you tell me it doesn't work. And the reason I say that is, first off, I want you to be consistent in general. But second off, if I like add to my network from the ads one day, and then I add suggested friends the next day, and then I add from the Bachelor in Paradise ads or whatever the next day, well, I don't know what actually got me the most ad backs, because I can't go and look at what they liked. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying I want you to do it for that week and see, okay, yeah, I got a lot more responses and like ad backs than I did doing anything else. Okay, yeah, do that. Okay. And it's funny because I'm pretty sure, I can't remember how Emily does or anything, but I know Grace, she adds from suggested friends. Okay. I said that in the beginning of the Zoom. I tried that for a month and got hardly anything back. The minute I started adding from ads, boom, I probably get 10 to 20 friend requests a day, or like ad backs or whatever. Okay. So you really got to figure out what works for you. Oh, I'm so sorry. I swear I have a piece of hair in my mouth and I cannot find it right now. But I just want you guys to be consistent with it, because if you're consistent with it and then you'll come and say it maybe doesn't work, okay, we can try to find something new. But if you're not consistent with it and you're saying it doesn't work, then I think there's something missing, because that quote right there literally ties in our entire 6 list, I guess is what I'm trying to say and trying to help you guys realize, because we're not like, and I say it probably almost every week, but people do not buy It Works, they buy you. And so you did not join me, or you did not join Emily, or did not join Melissa or any of those people because they sell It Works. You joined them because you have a relationship with them, just like that obviously my people did with me. So talking a little bit about mindset real quick. I kind of talked about with no one responding to me, that really when I flipped my mindset of, oh, they probably got busy and they totally forgot to respond to me, so I'm just going to go ahead and follow up with them. It literally just switched for me. I get excited to do follow-ups now. And Emily, I really want you to speak on how you switch it too, because I know you were talking about like customers or something, and you switched your mindset because you used to hate doing follow-ups and you switched it. Can you hit on that for just like a second? I'm putting you on the spot, but I loved your mindset on it and I want you to speak on it.
Yeah, so well, what I kind of said, I think, was like messaging. I used to like hate messaging because okay, let me figure out how to do that. Oh, there we go. Okay. So anyway, I think what I was kind of saying was like messaging. I used to hate to message. It was just like something I didn't really necessarily enjoy to do out of my task list. And I would always try to put it off and just keep putting it off until, it just wasn't getting done how it should get done. And then I changed my mindset on not looking at who's getting back with me, who's responding, who said no. I'm not giving those people any of my attention anymore. And even if they say no or whatever, if they're not interested right now or they don't want to put up a post for me, I say, okay, thank you for your time, I hope you have a great day. Like, I'm very positive back to them, and that right there has changed my mindset a lot. But now what I look at is I look at how many people I can message that day that are going to respond and how many more people I get to add to my potential list, because then I get to do more follow-ups, which is going to seal the deal more. So it's just like, now I just enjoy it because I'm adding to my potential list. I get to follow up with people because I message people, and it just all kind of flows together. If you're messaging, that's how it's all going to flow. Like, your follow-ups, everything, adding to your planner or your calendar, your potentials. You're not going to get a lot of potentials if you don't message. And then you're not going to have a lot of follow-ups if you're not messaging to begin with. So you just have to really change your mindset and don't pay attention to the negative people or the people who don't respond or the people who say no or the people who leave you on red. Just look at those people as I can follow up with them and say, hey, did I catch you at a bad time if they left you on red? Or respond back to the people and say, okay, thank you so much for your time, I hope you have a great day.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I can literally, like, I know it sounds like probably silly, but I can hear your excitement of like you enjoying to do it and not like, oh, I have to do my follow-ups. Like I can literally hear your excitement, and that's what makes me so happy because you flipped your mindset and now you enjoy doing it. And obviously you've signed, don't even know because I lost track amount of customers this month and distributors, obviously, and I just spot at the retreat. And so I just like wanted to hit on that real quick. And so thank you for doing that, especially on the spot. And so I guess going along with that, with the no one responds to me, sometimes people also say I get negative responses. Well, honestly, and I'm not like trying to like preach or anything, but they're gonna say anything bad about my favorite restaurant in the whole entire world. They're gonna say bad about my favorite store that I shop at all the time, and they're gonna say anything bad about Jesus. So they're literally will say anything bad about anything. I don't care. And so I used to honestly get so mad. I was like, oh my gosh, it's about to go down. Like I would get so defensive when people would say something negative to me, whether it was about me, whether it was about this business. Like I could tell you message upon message upon message, guys, about the negativity that I've had from people, and whether I know them or not, I don't care. I literally am like, I'm so sorry that you feel the need to bring me down because of something I'm choosing to do, when you could have literally just said no thanks and had a good day. So I'm going to tell you, no thank you, have a great day, bye. And then I literally delete and block them because I don't have time for that negativity. I don't have time for that crap. It is literally just rude. And it's someone that is so unhappy with their life that they have to like make someone else like frustrated or mad or like bring them down. Like it's just not cool. So I want you to think about that the next time, is to honestly just kill them with kindness, because they want you to get mad at them. They want you to feel down about what you're doing. They want you to literally like hurt. They want you to, they want to get a response. It's like that bully in school that like picked on you and they poke at you and they poke at you. And then you get mad, you're like, they want you to have that reaction. So don't give them the satisfaction of that. Please don't give them the satisfaction of that. So my last couple of things here, I promise I'm trying to end. I was really close to 8:30, but I don't think I'm going to do it. This one is a little more like intense, but someone said it on a Zoom and I can't remember for the life of me who it was with, but it was probably sometime a couple months ago. And they said, when you're new, to be ignorance on fire. And I kind of always wondered what that meant. I didn't really know. And basically ignorance on fire is like doing the things that we're telling you to do, just doing them and not really asking like why, in a sense. And I'm not telling you not to ask why, because you should ask why, because I think when you understand why we're doing it and why it's important, you're going to want to do it. But she literally said, she's a lot more red than I am, but she said, why do you think we're telling you to do these things? Because we could have had success. Okay, and so they always say success leaves clues, which is true. But I want to share a story with you really quick. I'm talking so fast, I need to take a breath. But anyways, I want to share a story with you. So I started this business obviously for gas money, and I could go into my whole story, but I'm not going to. fast forward though, and I don't remember how many months this was, honestly, when he lost his job. My husband lost his job at some point. And honestly, I was like, oh my gosh, like you just lost your job. Okay, well, I've got the money to cover us for a little bit. We're going to be fine. Because I had saved the money that I had made from It Works and I had literally just gotten paid. Okay, so that was good. But then he found another job. Okay. And so I was very blessed at that. God answered our prayers for sure. But he needed to like get new equipment because he was going to be working outside. And I live in South Dakota. And I don't know about y'all, but it gets like -40 here with the wind chill at points. And he was going to be working outside in that in the winter time. And so he needed gear that was actually going to keep him warm and safe. Okay. And so I like don't know anything about that kind of stuff. I really don't. And so when we went shopping, I was like, okay, like get what you need, like I don't know anything about this stuff, like you do you. And so he's like, okay. And so he went in and he like brought a few things to the cart and he's like, this is what this does, this is what this does, thing. I was like, okay. He's like, huh? And I was like, it's fine. Like I got it. And he's like, what? I was like, yeah, I got it. Like my It Works is gonna cover it. Take a gander real quick and I'll go on to my next thing, but take a gander at how much his equipment cost that I was able to cover with like not checking my bank account or anything. I just want to guess what you guys think it would cost it. But I'll go on and then I'll come back to that, I promise. But two things also about Zooms. Okay. And I know we have our small team Zoom. And like I said, I do try to keep it to a half hour, especially because I know we have the content planning Zoom right before this. But two reasons I think Zooms are so important. Actually, three. One is the community. It's starting to like meet people. Maybe someone will say something and like, let's just, okay. I think I got the team right here. Melissa loves the Tar Heels. Is that right? I got it right. Okay. So maybe someone's going to hop on a Zoom and they're going to be a big sports person and they're going to say something about the Tar Heels and Melissa's going to be like, oh my gosh, I love Tar Heels. And she might go follow them and she might make a new friend. You know what I mean? Like you never know who's going to be on there that really like could impact your business. Maybe as a friend, maybe as an inspiration. Like you literally never know who God is going to bring on this Zoom to talk to you. But that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. But it also may get you out of a funk. Maybe you're feeling pretty discouraged right now. And maybe there's something that someone is going to say is going to change your business. And you're like, oh, like that's really what I'm missing. Okay. And then it shifts your business for the better. And then I've also had people that maybe they're being consistent and maybe they think their mindset's good. And they're like, I don't really need that Zoom. Okay, maybe you don't need that Zoom, but guess what? One of your team members later might need that Zoom. And we're in the business of helping people. Okay. And so I want you to think about that the next time too, is yeah, okay, I hop on obviously every Sunday and every Monday Zoom. And some of them I'm like, yeah, I feel like I do really good on that. But I still get something out of every single Zoom that I can take back and share with my team. And there's times that I'm like, oh, I feel like I don't need this Zoom, but I'm going to hop on anyways. And I literally hop on. And then I'm like, oh, actually a girl on my team really needed this Zoom. And I'm like, oh, I get it. I get why I needed this Zoom because I needed to help her. And so I think that's a really good way to look at it too. So I've got two last things, but Melissa got the closest. It was $896 was how much all of his stuff cost to be able to keep him warm. And I was literally able to slide my It Works card and I did not have to worry at all, insert income disclosure statement here without blinking an eye. And guys, I have never in my life been able to do that. I have like literally never thought I would be able to do that. And he almost cried because it was intense. Obviously, it was a lot of emotion. We've never been able to do that, And so it's just incredible what consistency from this business was able to do for us so early and even. And I have to try to find the post of when I did that because I just cannot remember for the life of me. But anyways, my last two things here, I'll make it by 8:35. One, someone else talked about posting one time, and I should have put this with the other part of posting. So I'm so sorry. I'm so scatterbrained right now. But what if the one time that you post, okay, let's say you post an opportunity post or you post your story right now, tonight. What's the one, oh my gosh. What if the one time you do that, the rock star that is going to take your business to another level and run with you is ready to sign up? And they're like, all right, yep, I'm ready to sign up. Let's go. And on the flip side of that, what if they're ready to sign up and you don't post and they go sign up with someone else because you didn't post and you probably didn't interact with them enough to get that relationship to where that they would have signed up with you? Ew, that's a hard pill to swallow. So when you don't want to post, I think you should think about that next time because there is someone laying in bed praying for this opportunity or praying to get that money that needs it more than anybody. And they're ready, but you didn't post. So I want you to think about that the next time. And I will leave you with a quote that I saw from Cheyenne Knox today on her story, or on her, well, it's on her story, but it's on her feed, that I just thought was really good, especially talking about consistency and mindset here. So her post said, little by little, a little becomes a lot. And I just felt like that was perfect with what we're doing. You know, maybe you're going to start with 10 people a day adding to your network. And then maybe the next week, if you did that for 7 days, you're going to do 30. You know, the next day you're going to do, or the next week, you're going to do 50. You're just going to keep going and going and going because you realize what works for you and you find the stuff that works and you find the stuff that helps you like be consistent, because consistency really is a discipline, and that's what this business takes, is consistency and discipline. So obviously positive mindset too, but I actually have a Zoom on mindset that I'll share with Emily too. And I don't mean to like toot my own horn, but I feel like it was really good. And everyone messaged me after saying it was really good, and not just like, oh my gosh, you did so good, but genuinely like it helped them so much. And so if you weren't on my team or haven't seen that Zoom, please watch it. It is really like, it hits on like personal stuff and business stuff and like just, I don't know. It was just, I felt like it was just like a really good Zoom and is really intense. So if you feel like you need some mindset help, that would be definitely a Zoom for you. Emily, if you want to go ahead and stop the recording, I'm actually done.